Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Also like and subscribe. I never imagined that someone I trusted would become the reason I felt unsafe in my own room. It happened on what seemed like an ordinary evening. I had returned home after a long and exhausting day. My roommate and I had been living together for several months, and until then, we had always gotten along. We shared meals, watched movies together, and talked about our future plans. I believed he was someone I could trust completely that evening. I took a shower and went back to my room to change into clean clothes. I was certain that I was alone in the apartment because my roommate had told me he would be out for a while, feeling comfortable in my own private space. I began changing, just as I was about to get dressed. I suddenly heard the bedroom door open before I could react. My roommate stepped inside for a few seconds. Both of us froze in complete surprise. Neither of us expected the other to be there at that moment. My face turned red with embarrassment, and I instinctively reached for a towel to cover myself. "I'm sorry," he said at first. I expected him to immediately leave the room, but he didn't. Instead, he continued standing there. His silence made me uncomfortable. I asked him to leave so I could finish getting dressed. He took a few slow steps closer. I repeated myself more firmly, telling him that I wanted privacy and that he needed to leave the room immediately. Instead of respecting my request, he ignored what I had said. His behavior changed in a way I had never seen before. He invaded my personal space and behaved inappropriately. Despite my clear objections, I immediately moved away and firmly pushed him back, telling him that what he was doing was completely unacceptable. My voice was louder this time, and I demanded that he leave. Seeing how serious I was, without saying another word, he walked out of the room and quietly closed the door. I quickly locked it behind him for several minutes. I just stood there trying to understand what had happened. My hands were shaking. I couldn't believe that someone I had trusted had ignored my boundaries. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying everything again and again. I wondered if I had missed warning signs before. I questioned whether I had trusted the wrong person from the beginning. The apartment no longer felt like home. The next morning, my roommate knocked on my door. He apologized repeatedly and claimed that he had made a terrible mistake. He insisted that he had acted without thinking and begged me to forgive him. I listened quietly, but an apology couldn't erase what had happened. Trust, once broken, is extremely difficult to rebuild. Over the next few days, things became awkward between us. We barely spoke. I avoided being alone with him and kept my bedroom door locked whenever I was inside. Eventually, I realized that constantly feeling anxious in my own home wasn't healthy. I began looking for another place to live. Within a week, I packed my belongings and moved into a different apartment. It wasn't as large or as comfortable, but it gave me something far more valuable: peace of mind. Leaving wasn't easy. Starting over never is. But staying somewhere I no longer felt safe. Looking back, I learned several important lessons from that experience. Privacy deserves respect. Boundaries exist for a reason. Real friends never ignore someone's clear no. No matter how long you've known someone, everyone deserves to feel safe in their own home. If someone violates your trust or refuses to respect your personal boundaries, it is important to protect yourself, seek support if needed, and remove yourself from the situation whenever possible. That evening changed the way I viewed trust forever. Although the memory still stays with me, it also reminds me to value people who genuinely respect others and understand the importance of consent, kindness, and personal space. Sometimes the people you trust the most surprise you in the worst possible way. But difficult experiences can also make you stronger, wiser, and more careful about who you allow into your life. I hope no one ever has to experience what I did. Everyone deserves to feel safe where they live and to be surrounded by people who respect their dignity and boundaries. That day started like any other ordinary day. By the end of it, everything had changed.